Good morning to you, Danielle. We wanted to talk to Autumn Ness about the upcoming bill, the moratorium on GMO products here in Maui County. And she is actually for the ban, so she is anti-GMO, just to be clear. And Autumn, you were just telling me that you actually moved to Maui for a specific reason, and this is kind of how you got interested in GMOs.
Yeah, we moved. My husband's Japanese, and we were living near the Fukushima nuclear power plant. So because of that, we moved away to Maui, and I ended up pretty directly downwind from Monsanto and started asking some questions about what that means.
That's got to change your perspective to go through that kind of tsunami and that kind of nuclear meltdown. I mean, it's just, from us thousands of miles away and you so close. So in talking about this bill, this is something that's very close to your heart as a mother. Why do you think this ban is important?
Well, to be clear, we're asking not for a ban, we're asking for a temporary pause, a moratorium, so we can study what these chemical companies are doing. The bill is written in a way that it affects chemical companies, not farmers. We're asking for them to stop growing a specific kind of seed and doing the chemical testing that goes on that seed, so we can have a third party come in and do some health and environmental impact studies that should have been done years ago. And when those come back, if we find that the chemicals that they're testing heavily on that soil don't have an effect on our soil and our health, then they can continue doing their thing.
So in your opinion, should these tests come back positive, you think this is harmful to anyone who could consume this?
I think the chemicals that they're testing on those crops are likely to have some pretty severe damage to our soil, our water table, the health of our children. We know that farmers, a usual farmer will spray his field a couple times a month, with different kinds of combinations of chemicals. But these guys are spraying their fields multiple times a day, multiple times a week, with chemicals that have been banned and regulated in other countries because they have been shown to cause health problems to kids, to our wildlife, to our water table. So yeah, I want to be really clear to people because of all the propaganda that's going around about banning farming. We know from state data that only 1% of Maui farms even grow GMO seed. So 99% of farmers will not be affected by this at all.
This is not to go against farmers. You want them to grow products. You just want them to know exactly what they're growing.
Yeah, our local farmers that grow our food won't be affected at all. We encourage organic, conventional, which is non-organic, and all local farming. All we want is to have some impact studies done on the chemical testing that's going on that land.
Right, Autumn, I got to ask you, in talking to Mayor Alan Arakawa, he says that enforcing this, and he said, quote, it would be a nightmare. Now, you don't agree with that. Why?
Well, first of all, we're not the first county to do this, to regulate or ban or try and study GMO crops. Whole countries have done this before. So there is a blueprint. Second of all, the science behind it is pretty basic. There are only a few different kinds of GMO crops. There are no GMO lettuce, tomatoes, cucumbers. We're not going to have to go into everybody's backyard and check all their crops. They don't even exist.
This isn't about backyard policing for gardens.
Exactly. The law is written in a way that you have to, A, be knowingly growing one of these crops, and only a few crops exist. We know, again, only 1% of people in Maui are growing GMO crop, and that 1% is almost wholly Monsanto and Dow, which is called mycogen.
All right. Well, the voters will decide come this November on the bill. We want to say thank you to Autumn Ness from the Hawaii Center for Food Safety for coming in today to talk to us about this issue. For now, we're going to be right back. You're watching Sunrise on the Road.
Waterfall tumbling right down the wall, reading for you, my love.